Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us this evening to find out more about Northern Ireland Water's award-winning Apprenticeship Academy for apprentices, higher level apprentices and graduates. We have a full agenda for this evening and we hope you'll find it very informative. I would just ask, if you do have questions, could you please leave them to the end, add them to the chat function, and we will group them and aim to answer those questions for you at the end of the session. And in order to support the smooth running of our technology, could I ask everyone, apart from the panel, to keep their cameras off at all times? So just a bit of introductions. My name is Geraldine Hume and I am the entry-level strategy manager. And that means I'm responsible for all things related to the apprentices, the higher level apprentices and the graduates. And I'm supported here this evening by two of our graduate coordinator, our apprentice graduates coordinators, and that's Gilly Moles, and she's on the call, and also Clodagh Patterson, of whom you're going to hear from later on today. But we're supported by a much wider team in learning and development. It's a team of professionals who help train these apprentices the whole way through their programme, from start right through to finish. So in terms of Northern Ireland Water, some of you will have obviously heard of Northern Ireland Water, and you'll certainly have seen our vans going up and down the motorways. But many people think of us as a water and a sewerage organisation, but people are often surprised to hear about the breadth and depth of work that we are involved in. We're a multidisciplinary organisation, and that means we have many aspects to our organisation. We have science, we have engineering, we have accountancy, finance, commercial, human resources, communications, legal, technology, data, business change, and that's only to name but a few. As well as this, we are very proud to be one of Northern Ireland's biggest environmental influencers in climate change and sustainability. So there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes in terms of energy strategy for Northern Ireland. We also operate critical national infrastructure and have a very key role in protecting public health. But it is really important to point out that our number one resource in Northern Ireland Water is our people. We really take care of our colleagues, and through the commitment that we have to diversity and inclusion, of which we're award winners, and we have a massive focus on health and well-being. And overall, we are a values-driven organisation. So why am I working here? I've been here almost 14 years, and I honestly really mean this when I say it. It is an absolutely fantastic place to work. This might sound a bit cliche, but I'm very proud of the fact that we provide the number one most essential service. And in my 14 years, I started off as a project manager with our business improvement team. And as a result of that role, I've been able to move around our business. So I've worked in engineering, I've worked in finance, I've worked in our laboratories, and I'm now working in our HR department with the L&D team. So there's never a time in those 14 years that I've ever got bored or felt challenged or felt stuck in my role, because there's always opportunities to move around Northern Ireland Water and fulfill a rewarding career. One of the other things I really enjoy in Northern Ireland Water is our major incidents. Because of the nature of our business, when we experience adverse weather conditions, whether that be drought or snow or ice or freeze thaw, often we can be impacted with our service. So we all have a role in a major incident, and that allows people like myself, who mainly have a desk-based job, to interact with our frontline colleagues. And that means I truly get the opportunity to understand what all of the business is all about and how we provide water and wastewater, even through the most challenging circumstances. So in terms of our entry-level strategy, which is what you are all here to on this evening to hear about, what is our aim? We're aiming to develop and attract the best talent from Northern Ireland to be the future of Northern Ireland Water. So we want to attract graduates, we want to attract our higher level apprentices, that's our A levels, 18 years plus colleagues, and we want to attract our apprentices. We bring them into Northern Ireland Water in September to do a 6-week boot camp, and then they partake in full training relevant to their role, whether that be with the local universities, Queen's University or the University of Ulster, or our further education colleges, which are across the whole of Northern Ireland, or with specifically trained consultants, which have unique skills to the water industry. But every single one of these graduates, HLAs and apprentices, will be assigned a buddy and a mentor throughout the period of their training. This academy has experienced major growth and investment, especially within the last 2 years. We currently have about 75 apprentices, HLAs and graduates on our books at the minute, but we have major growth plans for this September 23. And one of the things through our surveys we have noted, we have a very high retention rate, 97%, which is really, really high for early careers. So we're definitely doing something right. And we know we're doing something right because only past there in September, we were voted Northern Ireland's best apprenticeship scheme by the CIPD. So we're very proud of that. And I hope you'll realise that that means you will be in safe hands. Much more detail of what this academy looks like and what's in it for you, I'm going to pass you over to my colleague, Clodagh Patterson, who will give you more detail on our award-winning academy. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Geraldine. So yes, my name is Clodagh and I am the Apprentice and Graduate Coordinator for Northern Ireland Water. And our aim tonight is to provide you with all the information that you need in regards to our entry-level apprenticeships, our higher level apprenticeships, and our brand new graduate academy. We are excited to announce that we are hiring across disciplines in water and wastewater, ICT telemetry, civil engineering, science, commercial project management, data analytics, and finance and accounting. Apprentices and graduates will be part of a diverse and inclusive workplace where everyone matters. We are proud to offer very competitive salaries, great work with fantastic training and career development opportunities. As well as on-the-job training, our apprentices will benefit from fully funded accredited training ranging from level 3 to level 6 qualifications, giving true meaning to the term earn as you learn. As a way of offering more support throughout their programmes, we provide all apprentices, HLAs and graduates with buddies, mentors and dedicated line manager, as Geraldine has already said. As of September, apprentices, HLAs and graduates will account for 10% of our workforce, which is why we have invested in a team of experts in L&D to develop, to create and support this fantastic programme, which as Geraldine has pointed out, has seen us achieve the annual CIPD Best Apprenticeship Programme in Northern Ireland 2022. But what sets us apart from other organisations? In all three of our entry-level strands, we take away the pressure of learners seeking out their education routes. We work directly with colleges, universities and external training companies to help plan and coordinate each individual's learning pathway. We fund 100% of all learning themselves. We ensure that there is dedicated time out of business to attend lectures, seminars and workshops, and we also offer study days in the lead up to assignment submissions, exams and assessments, giving all learners the best opportunity to succeed with us. As well as this, we fund driving lessons and tests for those who need it. And you can avail of this for up to 1 year with starting with us or 1 year after anyone turns 17, which is a real perk for any aspiring drivers and parents alike, of course. In the last month alone, we have seen 3 of our current apprentices go on to pass their driving test with the support of NI Water. And I must say, it has been lovely to be a part of that and to share that real excitement with our apprentices as they're all biz coming into the training centre in their R plates. All employees of NI Water can also benefit from access to a wide range of wellness initiatives, which has also won several awards in the last year. This includes initiatives in fitness, mental health, financial health, motivational speakers, and much, much more. All free, of course. I'm actually part of the project team and can see firsthand all the hard work that goes into making sure that we give the employees a chance to succeed in all aspects of life, not just work. I'm sure you guessed this already, but a lot of our roles involve hands-on work and physical activity. Where required in any role, we ensure there is comprehensive learning paths for all employees, including our entry-level intake. Courses can include business skills, cybersecurity, GDPR, but most importantly, health and safety. The safety of our workforce is absolutely paramount in everything we do. We ensure full PPE equipment is supplied to those who need it, alongside industry-approved mandatory health and safety training. Our entry-level intake will complete all said training in the first 6 weeks of starting with us in our graduate and apprentice bootcamp. In this bootcamp, you will also get the opportunity to meet leaders in our business, as well as our CEO, Sarah Venning. On your first day, you will meet with our apprentice team and you will receive all uniform, equipment, including laptop and phone, and you will receive all the information to get you on your way as you begin your new career with us. I hope that tonight you will leave this information session feeling assured that you are in safe hands with us. We aim to cover what we can, but if you have any questions, as Geraldine said, please keep them till the end and we'll pick them up. You've heard from myself and Geraldine on why we think this is an amazing opportunity for all, but don't take our word for it. Tonight you will hear from business area experts, apprentices themselves, and a parent who kindly agreed to share his thoughts with you all tonight. I hope you enjoy, but let's hear from the apprentices.
Hi, my name's Amy and I'm a first year water and wastewater utility apprentice. Every day in Northern Ireland Water it's different. So at the minute I'm working on a water treatment site, and here we treat the water before it comes out to your tap. 100%, don't let a male dominant workplace put you off.
Hello, my name is Ewan. I'm a mechanical and electrical engineering apprentice in NI Water. We'll start out. My cousin's just finished the Apprenticeship Academy and he's fully qualified now, and he'd done it in 3 years, and it's just, he told me from the start, like, it's a job you need to do and I'd be like him, and that's when it kind of kicked off, and I'm thankful to be in this job. That's amazing, that's class. Like, everyone includes you and you're not a step back from everyone, you're just doing the job and good crack with everyone. 100% I found a career. There's so many paths for progression, and there's just so much you can do. It's an amazing job. From day one, the support from I entered the building with boot camp, and then when I rotated to my job as M&E, meeting my line managers, my buddies, they've all just been so supportive and included me and made me prepared for the job that I'll be doing for my future.
My name is Harry and I'm an HLA in Capital Programme Management. My advice would be to research all the opportunities that are given to you to make sure that you can pick the right one so that you can progress fully and so it works the best for you. Yeah, it's a career for life, and because of the opportunities and the amount of different roles within NI Water, you can really do anything. It would be the opportunity to join the culture and engagement team to see firsthand the work that goes on behind the scenes to organise mental health and fitness initiatives.
My name is Johnny. I'm a water and wastewater apprentice. Yeah, the experience is good. It's definitely a lot more interesting than I thought, and I really took to it, especially all the different rotations. It gives you a lot of variety and a lot of choice, which I quite like, instead of being stuck somewhere. And within that, you get plenty of support and training to make sure that you learn everything that you need to, which is really good. Yes, I found a career in NI Water. I'm actually quite proud to be working for NI Water because of the important service we provide to the people of Northern Ireland. The main benefits of being an apprentice are firstly the really good boot camp training we get for the first 2 months. It really helps you whenever you go into your rotations, knowing all the core values and what to expect. And what's expected of you as well.
My name's Emma and I'm a higher level apprentice in cybersecurity. So I monitor firewalls on our network to make sure that there's no cyber hackers that get into the system and tamper with the water. I'd say the biggest benefit is getting my degree paid for while also learning on the job, so I can progress to a higher degree as well after. Yes, 100%. Whenever I first came in, I felt really nervous as it was a male-dominated workplace, but luckily everyone's been very welcoming since day one.
My name is Owen Irvine. I am a water and wastewater utility apprentice. I have found my experience within NI Water so far really amazing. I have felt really included in the plant that I've been working in. The benefits of being an apprentice within Northern Ireland Water is you get to earn as you learn, and you get a level 3 qualification at the end of it. I love most about my job that I get to interact with people on a daily basis and get to find out more about the water process within the business.
Okay. My name is Ben and I am a first year water and wastewater apprentice. The fact that NI Water is one of the biggest companies in Northern Ireland and it's a job for life. I am currently on my first rotation out of 5 and in clean water, and I have an R4 left and hopefully they're as good as the first one. Go for it, absolutely. Best decision of my life.
Inclusive.
Progression.
Class.
Purpose.
Supportive.
Welcoming.
Exciting.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. They are our September 22 intake, and I must say they're a great bunch and have been a pure joy to work with. And they've been very, very accommodating and just going from strength to strength already. So really, really love to hear their feedback. So now I'm going to pass you over to the business experts. Okay, so we're going to start off with Kieran Nicel. So Kieran is our head of business analytics, and he's currently hiring for HLAs or trainee graduate positions, in data analytics.
Hi, hello everybody, or good evening. Thanks, Clodagh, for the introduction. So I'm Kieran Nicel, I'm Head of Analytics for Northern Ireland Water. I think it's a really exciting time to be in this field. Our organisation, it's really hard sometimes to get your head around that. We're responsible for providing high quality drinking water for the whole country and the removal of wastewater. Now, in order to do that, that is, you can imagine that's quite a complex system. There's large amounts of assets all around the country and pipework and systems and information. And for us, we've made some really good decisions over the years, and we've got some really excellent data platforms. So we are a data rich company. So it is now seen as one of our assets, as well as a large water treatment works or a wastewater treatment works. Our data, given the scale of it, has now been treated as a core asset for our business. We've built an analytics team that covers a wide range of analysis and data engineering, and this allows us to help inform strategy and improve the performance of the business. And I mentioned about some of the data. So, our ambitions, and we continue to strive to be world-class as an organization. And we've got some really excellent world-class platforms. So, for example, one of our analysis tools that we use is a product called Power BI. It's a Microsoft product, one of the leading products on its field. We use Esri for GIS, so it's their graphical information systems information. We have Oracle Financials, and again, great system, and with some of the real leading edge customer systems and telemetry systems. And as an example, and I see Stephen on as well from the team, we have over 100,000 telemetry points that's feeding real-time data back into the center every few minutes. So that's a really rich vein of data for us to look at. We've also got, it's been mentioned about energy. So, we're one of our core values is around nature. And as an organization, because shifting water around the business is not always easy, we have to use a lot of energy to move that. So, we've over 3,000 sites that are pushing information into our systems. We have over 900,000 customer properties that we're responsible for getting water to. We have a work management system that basically we would generate over 250,000 jobs a year, and we've got an excellent finance system as well that we've got around 500 million data points, and we've a lot of engineering data as well, so all about the designs and hydraulic information. So trying to bring that all together to build a picture of how we progress, that's one of the main challenges in our department. So we get to build and develop some of the dashboards and some of the automated reports that really helps us drive the business on. And really for myself, we're looking for graduates that come in, and we will support them through some of our training programs, and they'll get access to work on real projects with my team, and also work with the target areas of the business, so that we can really improve and optimize our performance. So that's pretty much me, Clodagh.
Thank you, Kieran. I also think it's worth noting that, data analytics is essential to everyone in Northern Ireland water. No one can do their job without it. So it's a real core part of, what we do, and it's essential to get the right people. So definitely thank you very, very much for that, Kieran. Next up, we're going to have Caroline McGill. So Caroline is our financial controller in NI Water, and Caroline is currently recruiting for finance and accountancy graduates, as well as higher level apprenticeship in commercial and contract analysis. So over to you, Caroline.
Thanks, Clodagh. Good evening, everyone. If I deal with the 2 trainee accountants first, so we're offering a fantastic opportunity for 2 graduates to join Northern Ireland Water and work towards becoming chartered accountants whilst gaining on-the-job experience in a wide range of financial disciplines. We're going to go with Chartered Accountants Ireland, and we've selected the training contract pathway, which creates a 3-way agreement between Northern Ireland Water, the student and the institute, and provides a unique supported framework to complete your accountancy qualification. So education delivery is online. It'll typically be a live webinar for 2 hours on a midweek evening and then 2 hours at the weekend. And Northern Ireland Water will pay the fees, which include tuition, learning materials, exams, and online learning hub. And then we'll also offer study leave for exams and provide the relevant work experience. So years 1 and 2 will include placements in financial accounts, which includes financial reporting, tax and treasury, and then management accounts, which is more budgeting and forecasting and business advisory. And then years 3 and 4 will include rotations in other financial functions, including corporate governance, regulation, and financial systems. So all being well, our students would qualify as chartered accountants after 3.5 years, so 2027, and then have the opportunity to progress within our organisation. So we're looking for graduates who are interested in progressing a career in finance. It's a significant commitment to balance work while studying for chartered accountancy exams over a 3.5-year training contract. But if you have the drive and motivation required, this is a tremendous opportunity, and we'd love to see you apply. The third vacancy in our directorate then in finance, regulation and commercial is a higher level apprentice in commercial contract analysis. Again, this is a fantastic opportunity to earn as you learn and get a top class degree debt-free. We want to support you as you complete a BSc honours degree in quantity surveying and commercial management at Ulster University's Belfast campus. So this is a part-time undergraduate course completed over 5 years. NI Water will pay the tuition fees and offer day release to attend the classes at the university during term time, and then also to sit the exams at the end of each semester. And while studying, you'll work with our expert team of professionals and gain real-life experience in a range of commercial disciplines throughout the 5-year on-the-job rotation programme. So the commercial contract management team is responsible for managing contracts with an annual spend of over £80 million. And the trainee commercial contract analyst will support the wider team with developing contract documents, monitoring contract expenditure, and then managing the performance of contracts to ensure a sustainable and operational service is delivered and value for money is achieved. And you'll get the opportunity to work with some of the biggest construction and engineering companies across the UK and Ireland. So if you're interested in progressing a career in commercial and contract management and are attracted to the part-time degree in quantity surveying and commercial management, this is an opportunity for you. Again, there's a commitment to balancing work while studying for your degree, but if you have the drive and motivation required, this is a tremendous opportunity and we'd love to see you apply. Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. That was great. Very exciting opportunities for 3 very lucky people. So yes, looking forward to see who snaps those roles up. So next we have Ruben. So Ruben is our program planning and support manager. He is currently recruiting for higher level apprenticeships in civil engineering and project management, and also construction engineering graduate trainee. Okay, so over to you, Ruben.
Thanks, Clodagh. Hi, my name is Ruben Pilabasian, and I am the program manager in the project management office at Northern Ireland Water. This year, we are recruiting 10 higher level apprentices, HLA for short. And the HLAs will be placed in one of 2 disciplines. First one is in project management, and there are 3 areas that will be covered in the rotation: cost, program, and risk. And the second area is in capital delivery. And within capital delivery, there will be wastewater treatment, wastewater infrastructure, and developer services. HLAs will be in a hybrid model, which will be available after 3 months following onboarding and training. And there'll be 1 day a week part-time study and 4 days in work. And those 4 days in work will be either in the office or working from home. For years 1 and 2, the HLAs will be furthering their knowledge and development in the disciplines they're in. For year 3 and 4, there will be opportunity to pursue further professional qualifications or to go for a full degree qualification. The line manager will work closely with the HLAs and be available to answer any questions they have. Regular calls will be set up with the team to ensure that the HLA is being supported and part of the team. I hope this was informative and that you got a little glimpse of the higher level apprenticeship program at Northern Ireland Water. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruben. So anyone interested in the higher level opportunities within Ruben's team, you're looking at civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and quantity surveying. In terms of the graduate opportunities, we're looking for people who have qualified in the disciplines just mentioned. Okay, thank you. And now we're going to move on to Karen Topping. So Karen is our analytical services manager, and Karen's currently recruiting for higher level apprenticeships in laboratory scientific analysis. Okay, Karen, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Clodagh, and good evening, everyone. My name is Karen Topping, and I work in analytical services, which is Northern Ireland Water's laboratories. We're based at 2 sites, one at Belfast and the other at Derry, Londonderry. Our laboratory analysts work in one of 2 scientific disciplines, chemistry and microbiology. And the chemistry analysis we do in Belfast is on drinking water, and in Derry is on the wastewater. And our microbiology analysis is based at both our lab locations. The work we do in the labs is incredibly important, but it's also very rewarding because our analytical results confirm whether our water is safe for all of us and our families to be drinking. As well as that, the data produced by the labs informs decision-making right across the whole Northern Ireland Water business. So up until now, we have primarily recruited science graduates to work in our labs, but we appreciate that nowadays people want greater choice in their educational and career pathways, and the scientists are absolutely no exception to that. So this year, we're really excited to be offering higher level apprenticeships with 3 positions available at each laboratory site. We're therefore looking for applicants with A-level or equivalent in a science subject such as chemistry. And if you haven't already done so, please do take a look at the lab HLA candidate brief, which you can download from the Northern Ireland Water website for all the details of the entry requirements. So it's our first year taking part in the NI Water Apprentice Academy, and we're really looking forward to hopefully welcoming some of you to our labs later this year, where you'll become an integral part of our team. You'll benefit from our well-established training programme to develop your lab skills and understanding of analytical methods, during which time you'll buddy up with another team member. And 1 day a week will be spent with your fellow scientific HLAs at a local college, studying for a foundation degree in applied science. And after completing the HLA programme, we'll keep supporting you all the way through our fully funded continuing professional development programme, where you can progress from registered science technician all the way through to chartered scientist, chemist, or biologist. We use the very latest technology in our laboratories, and this year we're also launching a new research and development department. So there are lots and lots of exciting opportunities for progression within the scientific community here at NI Water. So that's it from me. I hope that has given you a bit of a taster about the Laboratory Scientific Analysis HLAs, and I'll hand you back now to Clodagh.
Karen, thank you very much. Again, very exciting. First time to be running this programme with science. So yes, it's been great so far and looking forward to seeing where we can go with it. So next up we have Mark Consiglia. So Mark is our frontline operations area manager, and he is recruiting for apprenticeships in water and wastewater utilities. Okay, over to you, Mark.
Thanks, Clodagh, and it's a good evening, everybody, and I hope you're enjoying the information even so far. So as Clodagh said, my name's Mark Consiglia. I'm one of the assets area managers within the wastewater team, which sits within part of our C&OD team. So that's our customer and operations team. And I suppose, as you can hear from the name, it's probably the core business, and it's the reason that Northern Ireland Water exists. Obviously, we can't do our job without the help of all of our colleagues that you'll have already heard about, already, and all those good things that they do to help us be able to manage the system as well as we do. So we'll be recruiting for 10 water utility apprentices throughout C&OD, and you've already heard from some of the guys and girls already in the little video clip earlier, and you can see how excited and engaged they are with the program, and we're hoping that you'll be as encouraged with that. So have a little look about C&OD and what we actually do. So C&OD, customer and operations, is split into two distinct parts where we deal with the clean water side of things and, as we call it, the dirty water side, or the wastewater side of things. So first is our water, or clean water production line, as we call it. So its job is to treat and distribute clean drinking water throughout the province to all the homes and all the businesses in Northern Ireland. But it's also split up into three distinct parts, where we have our water supply, where they treat the water, the distribution, which is where they look after the thousands of kilometres of the water mains that are in our roads and cities and towns, and then we have our leakage team, which goes out there and looks for bursts in the mains and systems issues where we need to keep a hold of the water content. Those three teams that I've talked about there will form the basis of 3 of your 5 rotations whenever you work through your water utility apprenticeship program. And as part of that, with each of the rotations, you'll be buddied up with an experienced water technician who will show you and let you gain experience on the important job that we do to make sure that we treat the water properly and we get it out to those people who need it. So the other part of our C&OD is the wastewater production line, which is where I where I work. But again, it's also split up into 2 separate streams, where we have our wastewater networks team and we have our wastewater assets team. So our wastewater networks team, when you're working with them, again, you'll be buddied up with our experienced wastewater networks technicians, and they'll let you experience the day-to-day operation of how we maintain the thousands of kilometres of sewers that we have in our villages and towns and our cities. So you'll be doing different activities like jetting, high pressure jetting. You'll be doing investigations where we use CCTV cameras to look inside the pipes to look for defects. You'll be dealing a lot of interaction with our networks team. Will be interacting with the members of the public, which has its challenges, but it's challenges that are exciting, and they're very important, that we can use to show our best ability as how we get on. So then the bit that I work in, not live in, the bit that I work in is our wastewater assets team. So what we're responsible for, my team's responsible for, is the operation and maintenance of our wastewater pumping stations, which take the wastewater that's been used by everyone within the country, and it transports it safely to the wastewater treatment works, where we can treat it biologically to an appropriate standard. We're able to return it to the environment without any adverse effect. So again, we look after somewhere in the region of 1,300 wastewater pumping stations, just over 1,000 wastewater treatment works. So there's a big asset base out there, ranging in sizes from very small works to huge, large works serving 500,000 population, like the one we have in Belfast. And again, you'll be buddied up with our wastewater assets technicians, and you'll learn about all the different biological processes. And as Kieran touched on earlier, a lot of that is based on the data that we hold for it. There's a lot of technology out there that allows us to control some very complicated pieces of equipment, but it's to allow us to treat the wastewater as best we can. So I suppose as part of the wastewater networks and wastewater assets, those are the final 2 of your 5 rotations. But all those 5 rotations, whilst you're doing those, you'll be working towards gaining a level 3 merit skills qualification in either water or wastewater. And as part of that, you'll be given some time off. I think it's 4 days per month to be able to continue with your studies, working towards that. And along that way, you'll be given mentoring to help you complete that work. I suppose one of the things important is you may think I'll come in here and they'll put me in clean water or they'll put me in dirty water, and I don't really want to be there. But after a couple of years, and when you get the chance to see all those various rotations, you'll be able to make the choice of the part of the business that you want to go into. But don't feel that once you're there, you're stuck. As Geraldine mentioned earlier, and some of the other guys have mentioned, Northern Water is a great company for furthering your career. You can go in any direction you want as long as you have the will to go and do it. I've been in Northern Ireland Water coming on 38 years this year, and I've probably worked in pretty much every part of the business, and it's all been enjoyable. As some of the apprentices said, every day is different. No day is the same. Some days are really good, some days are really not good, but it's a great challenge. And if you're looking for somewhere to have a challenge and further your career, this is the place to be. So we look forward to you joining the team and helping us to make a difference. Thank you, Clara.
Thank you, Mark. So we've been working alongside Mark and his team for a number of years now. This apprentice scheme with the water utilities apprentices is a few years old, and it's just grown from strength to strength. And I think it's why we are where we are with these apprentices at the moment, and why we can offer HLAs and graduate opportunities. So testament to Mark and his team for doing such a good job. Now we're going to move on, last but not least, to Stephen McCotter. Okay, so Stephen is our ICT telemetry developer, and Stephen is recruiting for HLAs in ICT and telemetry. So over to you, Stephen. Thank you.
Right. Good evening, folks. Mark's a tough act to follow there, but a lot of the work that we do would actually be supporting Mark and his team. So we're looking for 2 posts at the minute, one as a telemetry developer and one as a telemetry systems engineer. And most people don't really know what telemetry is, but you actually do, in a sense. If you're in your car, the speedometer, the fuel gauge, that's all part of telemetry. They tell you how fast you're going, how much fuel you're using. In NI Water, we use telemetry the same way. We have hundreds of reservoirs, 1,500 pumping stations, etc. All those devices or all those assets need to be measured as to how much water's in them, how much water's flowing through the system, what pressures are being used. So we have the guts of 100,000 devices out there measuring all those bits of data to help us get a picture of how well the system's performing. So that's at a very basic level. We just bring the data in and use it to help run plants. The likes of Mark's team can be sitting in the control center and seeing how well the treatment works is operating and making adjustments to it based on that information. But that information also comes back to the central business unit where it can be used. So you heard Kieran earlier talking about the amount of data that the company actually has access to, which is able to help them make business decisions, look at things like energy usage, see where there can be savings there. We can look at things like pumps and see how efficient they are from one make compared to another. And the closer we align our telemetry to our corporate asset register, we can look at that type of stuff to see what equipment performs best under what circumstances. We can also use it at the most basic level, just even for producing an alarm to say, somewhere's flooding or there's too much of a particular chemical in the water, and catch it early before it becomes an issue. And then at the higher level, we can use that data to make much more strategic business decisions as well. So the way it works is if you're driving down the road, I'm sure you must have passed little green kiosks from time to time and wondered what's in them. Well, if it's a green kiosk with what looks like a TV aerial on a pole beside it, that's probably one of ours, probably a leakage kiosk or a wastewater pumping station. And that sends its information back to our servers over a radio network. So as part of the telemetry team, you have to program the outstations that gather that data at every site and then get it back over the radio network onto our main systems, onto the servers where the rest of the business can view it and use it. So that's the essential nature of a telemetry developer, is to set those outstations up, test every signal as it's put in, and periodically test them with contractors or NI Water staff as they're being repaired. And because there's 100,000 of them, it's an ongoing job, it's a busy job. And to maintain the servers and the operating systems and all the laptops and equipment that's used to do that work, that's what we need the telemetry system engineer for. They'll have to make sure all the machines are patched, that they're cyber secure, that the latest certificates are on them, that the operating systems are all working properly. So that's really the essential work that we're doing. We're looking one telemetry developer, one telemetry systems engineer, and we'll provide the training in-house through a mentoring program, 4 days a week, and the 5th day a week for a day release to help you get a foundation level degree in computing. So, I mean, it's really, you don't have to have done computing or whatever before. I mean, Mark and Karen will tell you, I mean, my background, I'm an expert in siege warfare, or was for a while, and now I've ended up here. And I have to say, in 20 years, maybe been 3 or 4 days that I would sort of be not looking forward to going into work. And it's usually because something's gone badly wrong the day before. The rest of the time, it's been great. So I would certainly encourage you to think about coming on board and getting involved. And in the telemetry, you're in the unique position of you see so much of the business, and everybody else in the business uses so much of the data that you gather, that you really do get to know the company as a whole, inside and out, very well. So I look forward to seeing you hopefully next year.
Thank you, Stephen. Again, another integral role within Northern Ireland Water for sure. Just to reiterate Stephen's point on the education pathway, we're very lucky to be in the position where all colleges throughout Northern Ireland are offering the foundation degree in computing in every campus. So there's a real plus there where you can travel to your nearest campus to study the foundation degree and not incur large travel time in your day-to-day. So listen, thank you very much to our business experts. If anyone has any questions at the end, please hold them to the end and we can answer them. I think we've made up a couple of minutes of time there, so we will get to answer any questions that you do have. I've got a couple as well that we've been emailed through, so I can just answer those queries as well. So now I'm very excited to announce this part, because it's just, for me, it definitely made me feel really proud of what I do and the work that the team do in NI Water, not just in L&D but across the whole business. We have a parent testimonial who is going to, it's recorded, he couldn't make it tonight, but he's recorded his response and what it means to him and his son Johnny, who is an apprentice with us at the moment, and what that can look like financially for them as a family, also what it means to work from home sometimes. And it's just a really informative way of explaining what it's like as a parent. So I'm going to hand over to Jason, who's going to share that for us.
When Johnny was accepted for the apprenticeship course, we were delighted, as was Johnny, even more so because he had tried before around the COVID time and wasn't accepted the first time, but he didn't let that stop him, and he went off and did something else for a year and tried again. So we were really pleased, because we were keen that Johnny would get involved with an organisation that were professional, had good health and safety, and that he was going to get some first-class training with a broad range of skills throughout the apprenticeship programme. I know that Johnny has been really well supported since he started last September, whether that be in the training centre in Antrim. He really enjoys the training days, and even now that he's out more on placement starting the rotation, he's got a big network around him, whether that be with co-workers that he's with day to day, or the coordinators, or the training officers, and he's not afraid to ask questions to make sure that he knows what's expected from him. So now that Johnny is 6 months into his apprenticeship, we can see that he's taking a real pride in the organisation, and even in his uniform and all the kit and the technology and all that's been supplied to him. He's really enjoyed feeling sort of part of that corporation, and he also really enjoys the variety of sometimes being a bit closer to home and a bit handier time-wise for early starts, but then also for going to Antrim for the training days.
and getting in touch with trainers again and all his peers on the course. The other benefit, obviously, of having the finances is that he's able to have the independence to run his own car, and that also gives him the travel independence as well for going to the training centre and even heading up to work and back each morning. Although latterly he's had the advantage of having a van, and that's been a huge benefit to him as well. Financially, it's a huge benefit to be able to learn and earn at the same time. And at Johnny's stage in life, there's lots of his peers who would maybe be off at university, which is costing them money, whereas he's actually able to learn, and that's certainly very satisfying for him, knowing that he's getting the best of both worlds. And it's a huge security for any young man to know that as they study and work for the 4 years, that they have a progression, firstly in what they're doing, even the salary financial wise is progressing, and then there's a job waiting for them at the end of that. So that's a huge attraction, especially in the times that we're living in, to be able to have that security. To any parents who are deliberating at the minute between the pros and cons of an apprenticeship versus perhaps full-time education, I would strongly encourage you to have a look at the apprenticeship route. There's such a range of options out there for young people, and I think that NI Water is certainly to the fore of those opportunities. We had looked at the information available before he applied. We were very impressed at the progression of how he could get on, of the opportunities that would be there, and now that he's in the organisation some months, they're becoming very apparent as well as he speaks to different ones throughout the organisation. The other big thing is that if you're a young person, perhaps you feel that they would need a bit more support and mentorship rather than being sort of left alone, which quite often can be the case when you're going to college or to university. The apprenticeship programme certainly comes into its fore there, because there's a lot of support, and that certainly has been really key over these months, as we've seen the support that Johnny has been getting.
Okay, everyone. So I know there's been a lot of information cast upon you all today, but just worth noting, at the end of this call, my colleague Jilly is going to put in the chat function. She's going to put in the careers website, which will give you a direct link to all candidate briefs if you have any questions that you can't think of right now. We are also going to put in our email address directly to our learning and development team. So again, if you have any questions that you might not think of right now, you can email the L&D team and we'll get back to you tomorrow with any queries that you might have. But at the moment, it's over to you, folk. If you do have any questions, please just put them in the chat and we can answer them for you as best as we can. I do have a couple of questions that have been emailed through from people whilst they've been submitting their applications, so I can cover those points also. So whilst you're maybe thinking of a question, I do have one which came up quite often actually, was what is the difference between an apprenticeship, a HLA and a graduate? Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Geraldine, who is best suited to answer that question, if you're there, Geraldine.
Yes, Clodagh. So a apprenticeship is normally aimed at people who have are just finished GCSEs. In this case, we're not asking for GCSEs. But it's that age group and above. That's that level of education. In terms of higher level apprenticeships, that's usually you people who are 18 plus. Or coming 18 or just finished A levels or equivalent qualifications from wherever they're coming from. And then graduates is quite obvious. That's somebody who has a degree already under their belt. But obviously there's opportunities even for our graduates to progress further through further education and on the job learning. So it's kind of divided among those different levels.
Perfect, Geraldine, thank you. I'm going to just go through some of these questions. Whatever questions we don't get to tonight, we will email out. We've got the names of the people who have asked the questions, so we can do that. So I have a question here. If you want to do a HLA in civil engineering, do you have to apply through the university through UCAS? We put in all the hard work and the legwork for you. So if you're doing your HLA in civil engineering, we have already worked and secured those spaces with the relevant colleges to ensure that your space is there. All we ask is that you have the relevant qualifications upon receiving your results to then slot into that programme. Another one, the deadline for the application, we close applications on the 24th of this month. And then running on that point, that is after that is when you will find out if you're successful. Are there any age restrictions for HLAs? No, we're open to all ages. We're open to career changers. We have a few career changers with us at the moment, and they're just loving the job and loving the process. So no, it's great to see, and they're hard workers. So no, definitely no age restrictions whatsoever. And Adam, where is the boot camp? So the boot camp is based in our Antrim training centre just off the Milltown Road. So that is a 6-week boot camp where you'll be engrossed in everything NI Water. Okay, so you're talking about introductions to the business, speaking to the business leaders, your technical mandatory health and safety training, and also any business skills training that you might need, such as Microsoft Excel, effective communication skills, GDPR, hybrid working policy, everything that you might need to know. And we involve in that 6-week process. There's also a nice buffer between the 6-week process, or the 6-week boot camp, sorry, and then being introduced to your business area. Your business area leads will be coming into the centre, or they will be online, and you will be introduced to them gradually, so you'll understand what that looks like. And you know, it's a kind of an easier transition from boot camp into your day-to-day role, alongside any qualification that you're looking for. So let's see if there's any specific ones for. So I have a question here. Is it a 3 or 4 year apprenticeship? And when completed, do you have to apply for a position? Geraldine, do you want to pick that one up?
Yeah, so I think there's a double one there. What are the qualifications for an apprentice? The qualifications for our apprentices, you need to be at least 16 years old at the 1st of September 2023. All candidates will take part in a competency-based test within a computer-based assessment. And then from that, we will sift, sorry, that's tests in skills and literacy. And then we will sift for interview. We will do an interview, which will be a values-based interview and a 5-minute Dragon's Den type pitch. We also expect people to be medically fit, and there will be medicals to complete, and you have to have the obviously to be able to work in the UK and so on. So that's the only criteria. What was the rest of that question, Clodagh? Sorry.
I'm trying to find it again here. Sorry.
What is the boot camp entry qualifications? When will you find out if you're successful? The closing date is Friday the 24th. So then you take the mind mill test after that. So it's a few weeks after that.
You'll find out if you're shortlisted within that time too. So yes, the process.
Could I have the exact dates here, if that helps? Jobs closed 24th of March at 10 a.m. And then you will, if you meet the criteria, you'll do an online assessment between the 25th to the 31st of March, and then assessment centres for interview, and that pitch will be between the 24th and the 30th of April. And conditional offers will be made from the 12th of May to all successful candidates. And that is condition of pending pre-employment checks and validation of qualifications.
We have another question in there about the length of apprenticeship. That really does depend on what you're studying through the different strands. There are some 3 and there are others at 4, even up to 5 for HLAs, because that is a full degree. So we will direct you to the candidate briefs on the website for you to have a little look, just to make sure you're getting the right information. Okay.
But the water and wastewater apprenticeship is just over 3 years. So year 1 and 2 is your level 2 qualification. We expect you to complete that within 2 years, and then you go on to your level 3 qualification. We've just tried to condense that to a shorter time period to align with the rest of the GB water companies. At the minute, it's looking between 12 and 18 months.
Thank you. And then Sharon, what A-level grades are required for HLA civil engineering? We asked for 56 UCAS points across your whatever you're studying. We also ask for English and Maths and GCSE, C or above. So just whatever your grades are, if they equate to 56 UCAS points, and you have your GCSE English and Maths. Now, I think it's also worth noting that we know some of you haven't got your A-level results yet, or your GCSE results, whatever that may be. We offer positions on the condition that you will be getting those results. So we go off predicted grades also. So don't let that deter you from applying if you don't have the grades yet. We work very closely with you. Our interview process allows us to gauge your skill set and your knowledge base. So we will work with you on that one, and just the space is there for you should you get the grades. Another question that's came through email quite often was what qualification, how do you set your qualifications and your entry criteria? We have to go off the colleges and universities and what their entry requirements are, because we can't be, if we set a lower bar, for example, it means that you can't get into the course that you want to get into, that we require. Or if we set the bar too high, we're doing you a disadvantage as such. So we work very closely with the universities and colleges to ensure that we're aligned in the qualifications and the entry requirements.
There's one on the application process. So our jobs are out at the minute. They're there for people to apply to. The closing date, as I said, is the 24th of March. So there's still plenty of time to fill in the applications. And then we will sift those applications to make sure people are working towards the right qualifications or criteria of the job. And then there will be, you'll be invited to an online assessment. And then based on those assessment results, we will sift for bringing people to interview, which is said already is a 15-minute interview and a 5-minute pitch.
Thank you, Geraldine. We've also had one on the pension scheme. Just if you want to highlight what that looks like as well.
Yeah, we have a very lucrative pension scheme in Northern Ireland Water. Just get you the exact details. Currently, it's career long average pension scheme. The employer pays 29.2% contribution, and employees pay 3.5% up to 27,242, and then above that salary, the employee pays 6.9%. So very, very a very good pension scheme.
Yeah, that's why it's definitely a reason why people do come to work for us alongside the work itself, which I never understood when I was younger, and I never thought I'd have to take it into consideration. But listening to how important it is, especially in this current climate, the pension is second to none, and definitely something to take into account when you are applying for roles. It's something that I have in the past considered as a young woman as well. So yeah, very, very positive.
Rhoda, I just realised there what I said. I made a wee mistake there. The mind mill, the test after the application process, everybody gets the chance to sit that. So it'll be as the results of that come through that we will do sifting after that. So sorry for correction there. Everybody will do the mind mill test beyond that point.
Okay, and we have Jessica. Hi, Jessica. I think this might have the last question that we take this evening. Any questions we don't get to, you do have your you've got our email address, Jelly. Can you stick that into the chat, please, along with the careers website? So the last one, very good question as well. Jessica, how many apprentices places are there in OMA? I will double check that for you now, Jordan, if you have it to hand. Once fully qualified, can you move out of the water utilities area into another discipline? As Mark said, the world is your oyster. In NI Water. Now, we would like to think that you're in the role and you love it so much that you don't want to leave, and you're getting, the career development opportunities within that, that you won't have to move. So it's something that you definitely consider, and there are sideways moves, there's promotions. I'm not sure if it was mentioned, but a lot of our apprentices have gone on now to be field managers in water utilities. So I think that's really exciting. You don't just become a water utilities apprentice as such and stay there forever. It's not the case at all. So there's definitely, Mark started off as a trainee, I think it was, Mark, was it? And now you're working up and you're, a senior manager, so that, the career development opportunities are second to none there. And the last one, sorry, 16-year-olds, what way does...
Clodagh, sorry, just a question on OMA. There's two positions.
Two positions, okay.
Water utilities, yeah.
Thank you. And that's for Jessica as well. And then the last question for Jessica, for 16-year-olds, what way does a funded driving license work? we just ask that when you turn 17, you start your lessons and you have you have 1 year to complete your lessons and get your test. And obviously when you're 16, you still can apply for your provisional coming up to your 17th birthday, which we'll pay for as well. So yeah, that's one of the biggest perks. I wish I had it when I was younger. So hopefully that answered your questions. Sorry that we can't pick up any more. We do have another session coming on, but listen, thank you very, very much. I hope you've had that, you found it very informative. It's been great to showcase what we do as an organisation, and it's great just to have the experts here as well. So if you do have any other questions, please email us directly and we'll get back to you tomorrow, okay? Thanks, all the best.
Thanks
now.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.